organising this trip more or less for the younger ones. I think it's important, especially for the veterans, because I think after this year there won't be any veterans, you know. I'm young enough to go, actually. I think I was one of the younger ones, and I'm 90 now, so this will be the third and last time, actually. I think it's very important because, I mean, even when you're over there, the cadets are with you all the time, very inquisitive, finding out, you know, this and that, you know, and where did you land and what was it like when you landed and everything, you know.
Well, this has been quite an experience really, coming here to Normandy again this year. I came here 4 years ago with my school on an organised trip, and did a bit of wreath laying on the grave of a soldier who was from my hometown of Stourport-on-Severn. I managed to go back to his grave this weekend when we did our service in Bayeux Cemetery. I managed to pay my respects again. It's quite humbling to know that he gave his life, and he's only 2 years older than myself being 18.
For me, it was just to have a little insight into what it's like. Seeing things from the past of what they had to go through and what they did.
I like the Pegasus Bridge because it was quite an important tactical advantage to have, and it's a good thing to see.
We're here basically just to get an insight of what happened and what life was like.
We started from Tilbury, we embarked from Tilbury on the Empress of Canada. Of course, it was all camouflage, everything, you know. We were actually attached to the Canadians, and of course they put my 6 vehicles onto the liner. Once we got over to France, they were offloaded into the landing barge, and then you went down yourself, down the rope ladder, down the side, backwards with all your full kit, Sten gun and everything, you know, and you've got to jump backwards into the landing barge.
It started off the day before, really, a real rough storm, and the ships were all, you know, rocking and people being seasick and all, the soldiers especially, because we were used to being on board ship.
Of course, you couldn't get right in, but the landing barge ramp went down and you drove off. And when you were sat in, you were up there in water, you know, so you drove off, well, probably about a quarter of a mile. That's about all.
We sailed in the night, and we got there about 5 o'clock the next morning, about 6 miles off the beaches. We were 2 flotillas on board our ship, with 12 landing craft in each flotilla. And the first flotilla left the ship about 7 o'clock, and they were due on the beach at 7:30. Well, they went and they all got back, the all 12 of them. But we went at 7:30 and landed on the beach at 8 o'clock. And there was only 5 of us got back to the ship. 1 crew got killed, and the craft were all badly damaged.
I think I counted 34 ambulances waiting to load back onto the ship. onto the landing bars and take them back out to the ship. Each had got 4 fellas in them, you know. That was probably one of the first sights, you know, which wasn't very pleasing. This sticks out in your mind more than anything, you know. You think of those lucky, you know, that we managed to stay alive, but so many of your colleagues lay there, you know. It's very disheartening, really. There was actually one grave there where the lad was 16 years old.
Let us remember before God and commend to his sure keeping those who have died for their country in war.
I'm here with the RAFA Standard, the Royal Air Force Standard, to help pay respect for those that sadly died. I liked the service yesterday. It was nice and peaceful. So.
They shall run us home, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not wither them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
I find the best moment for me is that the service, because obviously we get to remember like all the soldiers that obviously have died.
We're here to remember all those soldiers that passed away and gave their lives.
I was always very proud to carry the standard, always. But for me now, the standard actually, I will raise the standard with a lot more pride and knowing what young men have died for.
I've enjoyed paying my respects to the servicemen and women that have fallen in the line of duty.
I have a real sense of how inspirational these people are and have been during their lives.
They're all now buried together as brothers in arms.
I've enjoyed coming and looking at the graves because it's nice to see how everyone's remembered. Even the Germans had their own cemetery, and that's nice that everyone is remembered.
You know, these are young men that died, are probably fighting for a cause that they believed in, and so it is something to come here. I suppose, you know, they believed in a cause as well, just a different one.
I'm surprised at all the really nice memorials. They're really nice and clean and everything.
Thy kingdom come, O God, and I'd like to mention briefly, we think of the second verse.
We and our forces today could never actually comprehend what it was like for the young British and American soldiers. Our generation could never have pictured war as it is then.
getting into the beach at the start, there were all these big metal barricades we had to get through that were mined, you see, and there was hardly room to get the craft through there. I can still remember that scene now with all the soldiers lying on the beach, injured and shot, and the tanks being hit, boats being hit, you know, bullets whizzing everywhere, and the sound of the shells coming from the big ships was terrific. And we sailed about 2 o'clock in the afternoon back to England, and we were back in the Isle of Wight at 8 o'clock at night, taking off wounded. So that was our first day. And the next day, we were up at 5 o'clock into Southampton for more troops. Took them straight back over to France again. And we did that 5 days running.
I'm learning about all of this at school, and to see it in real life really brings it to life a bit.
We've been socialising with all the other cadets, and it's just been great.
It's a great experience to see what the people actually went through for us to have our freedom today.
You come to a museum like this and you're living it with the people that did it.
Actual D-Day experience. I was 6 years old. The weekend's been brilliant, I think.
I think the message really is don't take anything for granted and just really live life as you can and experience everything that you can.
Been a real honour to say that I've come here this weekend with them.
They were quizzing us all the time, you know, what happened here and what happened there, you know, and so forth, you know, and sometimes the questions, you know, were a little bit difficult to answer, you know, but very, very interesting.
I think they've enjoyed it, and it's opened their eyes a lot, I think.
And they've seen some things, they've got amazing stories, and they're all cracking people.